Hi everyone, this is for Lattafa's Qaed Al Fursan Unlimited. I apologize if I'm not saying that correctly. This is my first impression of that. So for day one, I did a full press down on the atomizer 15 times. It's 1-5. Unfortunately, it leaked a lot. It went on my hand and on my arm. I tried to salvage it on a rag, which I was spraying it on a rag anyway, but it just, yeah, unfortunately that's what happened. The atomizer leaked, and so it smells just like alcohol, like rubbing alcohol. Maybe about 10 minutes later, it starts to smell slightly sweet, kind of coconutty, vanilla, like tropical, sweet tropical, if that makes any sense. I shook it, I put it away. The second day, I smell the rag. It is very, very strong because, as I've said, I've sprayed it 15 times and it also leaked. It's very, very beastly, so I don't really know how much was really poured on the rag. It's very sweet, however, not sickly. And again, I just don't know if it was the amount that was on the rag that made it super strong, or it's just naturally super strong. It has this non-dairy lactonic scent to it, which is really heavenly. I really, really like it, because sometimes when you have a creamy scent, it can become rancid or kind of sour or like spoiled milk. So it can be very, very tricky with that. And the reason I say that is because I used to have, which one did I? Signorina. I used to have Signorina by Salvatore Ferragamo. And that one, like, it starts off really beautiful, lactonic. And then it just like 10-20 minutes, it turns really rancid. It's super gross. But this one never does so far. It has a very, very creamy, sweet, like delicious scent. Reminds me kind of like a Bath and Body spray. However, like a more sophisticated version, an elevated version, a more elegant version, a classier version. It just smells like the quality of it is much better. It could just be the amount of it, or it could be just the quality of ingredients as well, like the oils, because there's always different grades and different levels of quality in regards to fragrance. Projection is pretty insane. I had this in the furthest corner of my home, and I can smell this everywhere. So yeah. This was on my hand and arm. I washed my hands, I would say between 5 to 15 times, and I could still smell it that night and the next day a little bit. Also, yeah. So this is for day 2. I could still smell it on my hand. Like, I mean, it's not. I don't know if someone 5 feet away from me could smell it, but if I'm slicing something or putting something in a plate, I could smell it that far away. So a few feet away. So for day 4, it is still very strong on the rag. Very beautiful, sweet, creamy, lactonic. There's not a big change into that, which is great because I really love how it smells. However, the day 2, day 4 doesn't really have that smell when I first sprayed it and it spilled on me. You know, like it didn't have like that potentness, the siliage, the projection. It didn't have any of that. So maybe it just needed to macerate. For day 5, I sprayed it again on my skin. Strong, very screechy alcohol. Maceration is definitely needed. This is a 1 spritz only. Smells weird, like nothing, like alcohol and nothing. 15 minutes later, I can start to smell a non-gourmand, sweet, a fruity, sweet fruitiness and creaminess. It smells very sexy too, like a very sexy, creamy, bright, fresh, very sweet organic fruit. Very inviting, alluring, very strong. The creaminess is that sweet, creamy, fresh coconut milk on a tropical island. So if you've never been on like the islands or in certain countries in the world or certain areas in the world where coconut is very much just growing like a weed, like organically, like you go to Indonesia, you go to the Philippines, you go to Thailand, you go to the islands, you go to certain areas, certain countries, Mexico, and when it's not being pushed out and not really harvested too soon, if you've ever had that experience, and you've had the experience as well as when it was harvested and then turned into coconut cream or coconut milk, there is a natural sweetness to coconut. It is not as sweet, nor is it processed the same way as sugar, but it has a sweetness to it. And that is the kind of sweetness that I could smell. And the creaminess is also like that. Like the creaminess of coconut cream or coconut milk, like fresh, is very, very different versus a dairy-based creaminess. It's lighter, it's airier, it's just different, and it doesn't have like a rancid smell to it. So I wanted to make sure to add that in, because this is actually the first coconutty fragrance that I've ever tried that it didn't turn me off, because usually it reminds me of sunblock or suntan lotion. It reminds me of like a $3 bottle of lotion. It usually very cheaply made. I think it's because a lot of skincare products that will have coconut scent on there are very heavily artificial, and this does not smell artificial at all. So I'm very, very impressed. This was gone from my skin after a few hours. I don't really know. I would say maybe after 3 hours it was gone. So day 6, I could still smell it on the rag. This is from day 1 that I sprayed, okay? And that is it for now. I only did that. I will do an update for a few more weeks or after hitting a month into this particular fragrance. And I hope you enjoy my journey, and I hope you subscribe and follow it so that we can do this journey together. Have a great day.